Hey, everybody. Welcome to West Coast Massholes. I'm Todd Anderson. I'm here with my West Coast Masshole pal, Josh Wingate. We've got 15 minutes before George Takei tells us to shut up. So make this one count, Josh. Go.
And scene.
How are you? How are you? It's been a week. How you been?
Not too shabby. Been
Because it's 5 o'clock. I'm having a whiskey this time. Normally.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. I've taken a little time off of that because it was just too consistent. So I've taken some time.
The drinking?
Of the drinking.
I didn't know you drank. I always thought you weren't a drinker.
There was a period in time I wasn't, and then I sometimes. But
what do you what do you like to have when you do?
Whiskey or mezcal or gin. I like those.
Those are good. I like.
Yeah.
What kind of gin do you like?
There's one that I'm loving right now called Gray Whale.
Gray Whale.
Yeah, it's a great gin. It comes in a light blue bottle with a whale tail. And what's cool about it is it's inspired by the migration of the whales. So the gin makers take different parts of the coastal route, like I think there's even seaweed in it a little bit.
So they make gin out of whales? That seems
no. Inspired by the route, man.
I like
they
that,
take different herbs and shit. Put it in there. Nothing to do with whales.
I'm not a big connoisseur of gin, but do you like aviation gin? Do you like that? The Ryan Reynolds gin?
Yeah, it's not too shabby.
No, that's all right.
Not too shabby. Yeah, it's all right. I'm a big gray whale. If I see gray whale, I'm going for that.
I'll get it next time. I don't think I've ever seen that, but I wasn't looking for it. So I'll look. I'll get a gray whale. As long as it's not made of whales. If it's made of whales, I'm not having any.
No. This whale species. That's all.
The whale shit.
No, there's no whale shit that I'm aware of.
Well, whale shit probably gets on seaweed if they're using seaweed.
See, no. That's what I think is interesting. Not to knock down too many vegetarians or vegans, but because I once was one. And
you've given up on giving up a lot of stuff.
And not to knock on them, but you know how many animals are killed in deforestation and using all these plants, and all what about all the fecal matter that gets on the plants? They're eating animal shit, man.
I think that's true about our lives. We're constantly ingesting shit of some kind. There's just when people fart, they put their particles of poo in the air, and then you're breathing, particles of poo. It's gross.
That's my favorite pastime.
Inhaling particles of poo. That's your hobby.
That sounds like a Howard Stern episode where they had a professional fart sniffer.
A what?
A professional fart sniffer or something. I don't know. It sounds
what was the gimmick? He'd smell the farts, and I don't listen to Howard Stern. It was never a Howard Stern guy, but that's why I don't know.
I said it sounds like one. I didn't say it was one. Damn, clean out your ears, whiskey boy. How many of those have you had? Oh man.
So what did you get? What happened this week? Were you just home all the time?
Mostly was in recording. I'm recording an EP.
Oh, cool.
My bandmates and I and my fiance, her cousin has a little back studio in the back of his parents' house up in Malibu, and so it's really cool. So it was.
So you go out and you record in person with other people?
Yeah, but
Is it scary?
No, we're distanced.
Do you can't wear masks? Do you wear masks?
You could, but I mean, I guess not if you're singing.
Well,
are you gonna judge me?
No, I'm not judging you. Every Sunday I watch this band called Bon Bon Vivant. They're a New Orleans band who I really, really love. And they do a live ever since COVID started. They've been doing a Sunday afternoon at 5, like one of those Facebook live feed shows.
Okay. Are they all together?
Yeah, it goes for an hour. When I met them in New Orleans. They were busking on the street, and I feel like they all lived together, the whole band. So for all I know,
they're like old school, like Jerry and the Dead. They all used to live together up in Haight-Ashbury.
Yeah. So yeah. I don't know what but I'm curious about when people do these artistic things, because I see some people, making short films and bands getting together and all that, and I'm just wondering what measures you take to reduce risks.
Day one, you make out. And you get,
just get it out of the way.
Just get it out of the way.
Sex it up.
Yeah. Have full-on band orgies and
Well, that's rock and roll, man.
See what happens, bro. Yeah, the new way of rock and roll is playing during COVID. We were actually a few weeks ago. Remember, things were starting to open up, and they were going to have like even indoor things. This joint we used to do open mics at was starting to do them again, and we were like, but you had to wear a mask. So it's like, oh, that would actually be quite interesting to perform with a mask on. I actually was wanting to do it, but it all got closed down again. So it never got to happen. But I want the experience.
A friend of mine named Larry Bagby, I saw on the social media that he's doing his act. Him and his band are like doing like parking lot shows or whatever.
Oh, cool. I've seen
people in their cars or whatever.
Oh yeah. I saw a few in back east, actually. Massachusetts loosened up, but I think because they got a really good handle on the COVID thing. At first they got spanked, but now they've really loosened up, and I think it's actually all the numbers are starting to go back up again, as you would imagine. But they were doing outdoor shows, and they were having bars and restaurants that are open. They'd have outdoor bands playing. So,
speaking of COVID in Boston, I finally, because of COVID, finally saw that Marky Mark Boston Marathon bomber movie. Did you ever see that? The Boston Marathon bomber movie with Marky Mark?
I know, I skipped that one.
Yeah, I had up until now, and now I watched it, and I wish I hadn't.
No, I heard it was. I heard it wasn't good. No, what one was amazing, tragically amazing, was Stronger with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Wait, what's Stronger?
It's a really good Boston bombing movie. It's
about the Boston Marathon bombing as well. When did that come out?
Yeah, a few years ago, a couple of years back. It is arguably 3 of the best performances I've ever seen on film, and it never got a whisper of an award or nomination.
I don't think I've ever heard of it before, or if I did.
I went to the theater and unashamedly sobbed for about 80% of the film. Like I had PTSD or something from it, and I left the theater in the lobby.
Were you in Boston again? Were you in Boston when the bombing happened?
No, I wasn't. But I was affected by it. My cousin was down there. I knew people that were close by, and I knew one of the state troopers who had just crossed the finish line. He runs the race every year. Turned around, and you see this video footage of him. While people are running away, you see this guy marathoner running over, grabbing the pylons and the fences, and just jumping over. And I went to high school with him. I grew up with him and knew him from childhood. I was like just seeing this, interaction of people I knew, and I remember just affecting me. But the movie and the performances, Jake Gyllenhaal plays. I'm terrible with names, so please forgive me, Massholians. But the guy who actually who identified the bombers, he had his legs blown up.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm so bad with names. I don't even remember my own half the time.
I'm
I
terrible.
don't even know who you are sometimes. So please forgive me. I'm not trying to be rude, but because I even forget the other actors' names, and they were brilliant. The woman who played his mother was unreal,
Tell me the
real good.
name of
Oh,
the movie again. I got to remember it.
Stronger,
Stronger.
Stronger.
And
Yeah,
now that you're saying it again, now it vaguely, where's it streaming?
I do not know. Like I said, it didn't get any notice at all, and I think it was because it was so hard to watch.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie.
Did
So
you ever
oh
see?
yeah, it was Tatiana Maslany played Jake Gyllenhaal's girlfriend, the real woman, brilliant. And then Miranda Richardson plays his mother,
And
and she
what's the
is
character?
unbelievable.
What's the guy's name? The real life guy? What's his name?
The real life name is Jeff Bauman.
Jeff Bauman.
Yeah, and
Did you ever see United 93
yes,
about 9/11? Like that's when I
yeah,
like Stronger sounds like it's going to be like that because United 93, and I'm not even a big Paul Greengrass guy to be honest with you, but that movie
hmm
was just like punched me in the face so hard. It really moved me, and as soon as it was over, I was like, I never like most movies. If they do something like that to me, I want to see them again. But
hmm
I don't think I can ever watch United 93 again. It's too hard to go through.
yeah. I won't probably watch. I probably won't watch Stronger again,
Because it was
but I would recommend it to anybody to see. Like I feel like, especially if you're a Massholian, I think it'll hit home a little bit more, especially if you have that connection to Boston and what the Boston Marathon is. And there was many a year I'd go down there by the finish line myself. Um, I was at BU for a little bit, so we had access to watch the race go by. It was just, it's just like a cool day in Boston. Very not patriotic in the sense of go USA, but it was like patriotic in the sense of this is like cool, the city, and then the Red Sox game right after, and people just having a good old time, everybody shit faced out of their minds walking around Boston. Just a positive day. You see the runners with their the metal those foil blankets
right.
on and their medals, and you're like, yeah, good job. And it's just like this real positive,
Vibe.
amazing experience. Yeah, so
I remember that we loved to go. We wouldn't go near
my family.
we wouldn't go near the end, but we'd be like somewhere in the middle of it near where we lived. And I remember loving, like as a kid, holding the water out for the runners. But then
Yeah, see, like this is cool.
at the same time that like, cause I was a little kid and, you don't fully understand, you don't have full empathetic abilities when you're a child. So it like became like fishing for me. And like, it would be disappointing if they didn't take the water.
Yeah.
Take
They
my
didn't
water.
like you. It was
My
like
water's the good
yeah,
water. Yeah.
yeah. It's because you have red hair, and
Yeah.
they
They were scared of the ginger
yeah.
water.
But times have changed. Times have changed. I remember actually in high school. I believe it was high school, freshman year, might have been, or it could have been in middle school. In the textbook, we got textbooks that were like 20 years old, in public school. They were never, they weren't updated.
Right.
And I remember we were going over genetics. It was a section on genetics, so it must have been a biology class. And they were talking about chromosomes and all this stuff. And in this book, it said that people with red hair had a genetic deficiency. And I was like, that's so messed up. I felt, yeah, it did in this book. Like it was like a genetic, like chromosome deficiency or something.
If there was recessive gene takes over, then that means there's something wrong with you.
I have no idea what it was, but I just remember that. And I just have it clear. I'm like, I looked at, and I even knew enough to look in the front of the book, like, when the fuck was this written? And it
I'm
was
not
like
saying they're wrong.
1970s.
I remember my mom had growing up had a medical book, and inside the book it was like a chapter on pregnancy, and one of the things was if you want to have a baby with a low birth weight to make the birth easier, just smoke throughout the pregnancy. Literally,
Well,
like a serious recommendation in the book.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
Which is
that
not,
makes sense.
it's not inaccurate.
No, you're just, toxic, feeding your child nicotine, but
Your baby's gonna be
it's
fucked
cool.
up, but it easily
Yeah,
passed through the canal.
but yes, that is so messed up.
Uh-oh.
Oh my! We were just getting into it.
I know, man.
Bastards. We're just
That's the
getting into
cruelty
it.
of doing a 15-minute show. Is you like 15 minutes. That's really just the first act. You're just ramping up. And
Yeah, just waking up. So,
but the best
and
part of
then
it
George
is
the
the
K.
first act. So
Most of the time, the inciting incident. What was the inciting incident of this episode? I don't know.
the Boston Marathon, I guess,
I guess so.
or whiskey.
Yeah,
Maybe it was whiskey.
or whiskey. Yeah, or genetic deficiencies in redheads. So, I'm sorry.
I will thank you to drop that, sir.
No, but I couldn't believe it. I felt so bad because we grew up in Boston. There's like tons of redheads, all like freaking Irish. It's like it's like these poor kids are reading this. Like they go home, they're like, "Mom, Dad, something's wrong with me."
That's
but
right.
well, that was fun, man. Sorry it was so short. Well, I guess we'll do it again next week.
We'll go do it again next week. We got to sign off though.
Fuck you, Nazis!
This has been a Blursh production. Blur.